This is Morgan Kephart's project on how to pitch a softball. I'm just going to teach you how to throw a regular fastball today. These are some definitions that may not be familiar to people who do not play softball. The backwards C is defined as the shape the laces of the softball make at the back of the softball. Your stride is the leap you make, pushing your right foot off the mound, thrusting your left leg, which is your stride leg, out, causing your hips to open. Your power line is an imaginary line that your stride leg lines up with home plate. It can also be drawn in the dirt. It doesn't have to be imaginary. The rubber. The rubber is the white strip in the middle of the pitching mound in which the pitcher puts her legs and feet. Dang it. Step 1 is your grip. The grip is more important than your arm or anything else, because if you don't have your fingers correctly on the laces, you're not going to get any power or rotation in your pitch, which is extremely important. What you want to do for your grip is you want to hold the ball with each of your fingertips touching the laces of the backward C, and you want to make sure that you have a firm grip on the ball so you don't drop it. Step 2 is your legs. Your legs are very important in your pitch as well, because that's where you get a lot of your power from, and you want to have a lot of power in your pitch. What you want to do is you want to have a very long stride, and you want your stride to be almost as long as the whole circle of the pitching circle. You want it to be long and fast. Step 3 is your hips. Your hips are where you get more power from. You're going to open your hips really wide, pushing your left leg forward and your back leg lined up with second base so that your hips are completely open and you pretty much look like a starfish, as shown here. Step 4 is your arm. Your arm is obviously an important aspect of your pitch because it's where it's directing the ball. You want a smooth arm motion. You don't want any jerky movements, because the more jerky your arm is, the more wild your pitch is going to go. You don't want to push the ball, because if you push the ball, you're not going to have a good pitch either, and you're just going to be leaning the whole time, and that's not what you want. Step 5 is your wrist. As you bring your arm around the circle of your pitch, your elbow is going to reach your belly button, and that's when you snap your wrist as fast and hard as you can, making sure you get spin or rotation on your ball. This is a lefty pitcher, so she's a little bit different than most pitchers. Most pitchers are righties, but she's different. She's a lefty, so she's going to have a totally different windup. Step 6 is inside and outside pitches. You want to hit your spots inside and outside to get a strike that a lot of batters can't hit. You don't want to strike right down the middle, because if you have a strike right down the middle, they're going to hit it to you every time. If you hit your spots inside, most likely the ball is going to go to first base, and if you hit your spot outside, it's going to go to third base, which is what you want, because you want your fielders to make a nice, clean out. What you want to do for an inside pitch is pretend that this is your power line, and you want to step slightly to the right of your power line in order to have an inside pitch, and for the outside pitch to the left, which is the opposite, and just follow through like normal, because wherever that stride leg is going, that's where your arm is going to go. Thanks for watching my paper slide video. Stay tuned for the actual tutorial video. Thanks. Grip of a fastball, you want to find the backwards C on the seams of the ball, and you want to place each of your fingertips on the seams to get as much speed and rotation as possible. Step 2 is your legs. Your legs are where most of your power is going to come from. Your right leg is going to be your push-off and back leg, and your left leg is going to be your stride leg. You want your stride leg to come out as far as possible, while this leg is back here. But once you snap and release the ball, you're going to come to a closed position as if you're standing upright facing the home plate. Your hips. You want to make sure that your hips are open with your stride leg facing home plate and your back leg lined up with second base. You want to make sure that when you're standing like this on the mound, you want to make sure that you open your hips really wide when you first begin your pitch, and when your arm comes around to release the ball, you want to make sure that you close your hips really fast. Where's your arm? Your arm is obviously a very important part of the pitch because that's where the ball is being directed. When you're standing on the mound, like so, you want to make sure that you get your arm back here in order to have power behind your windup. And then it's going to come around so it's up here, right above your head, and then once it goes down here, that's when you're going to snap, and that's when you're going to close your hips and come to a 90-degree angle. That is your wrist. Your wrist is a very important part of your pitch as well because you don't want to push the ball as you would a changeup. For a fastball, you're going to snap very hard and fast in order to get more power behind your pitch. After you snap, you're going to snap when your elbow is right near your belly button. That's where you're going to snap in order to have a perfect height on your ball. You don't want to snap all the way back here because it's going to go in the dirt. You don't want to snap up here because it's going to go very high above the catcher. Once you snap, that's when your hips are going to close and you're going to come to a 90-degree angle, like previously mentioned. Inside and outside pitches. You want to make sure that you hit your inside and outside pitches very well so you can get spots that the batter can't hit. For an inside pitch, you want to adjust your power line. Your power line is an imaginary line that runs through the center of the rubber and home plate. What you want to do for an inside pitch is you want to adjust your legs slightly to the right to get and follow through normally as if it's not anything new. So wherever your stride leg is, that's where your arm is going to go, and it's going to cause it to go inside. For an outside pitch, you're going to do the exact opposite, and you're going to adjust it slightly to the left of your power line and follow through like normal.